Hi, this is Harvey Hooke. In this video, I want to discuss what happens if it's dead, how to know if your relationship is actually over, and then what are the next steps you should take in order to progress with your life and not feel too caught up in all the pain of it all. So this was a question that someone actually sent to me via Facebook. And I'm really honored that people ask me these questions. Every question someone sends me, it always touches me in a small way. Your videos have really shown me that I'm probably not in the right relationship at the moment, and I need to move on. I wish I could figure out how to do that. Any further advice? Yeah, of course. So, there are so many things I can answer with this. There are so many things, but unfortunately this is a 5-minute video, so I can't really get into it too much. But relationships are a bit of a tough one, especially if you're at the end of the relationship. And you know what? Sometimes at the start of the relationship, we love everything about them. We get into it, we love their funny little smile, we love everything. And then towards the end of it, we're thinking, fuck, I think their smile or their laugh is just really irritating. And every time they do it, it's like a drill in my head, right? So the thing is, when a relationship is over, it's actually hard to tell, because so many of us stay in relationships when it's been over for months and months beforehand. And just by holding on to it, we actually suffocate ourselves, we suffocate themselves more. And the reason why we do it is because out of fear. And it's tough. It's tough when you get out of a relationship and you go through a breakup, especially if there were so many things that you relied on that person. All of a sudden you have to be independent again. There's just a lot of feelings that you have to process. And there will be a grieving process. There will be times when you think, I want to go back to that person, or I should be strong and stay focused and and just keep going. Think of relationships kind of like a puzzle. There are so many different pieces that fit together. And sometimes, when you realize that a relationship is over, it's scary because you're tearing out half of these puzzle pieces. We get into relationships because of the feelings they give us and because of the values and things we have and we share with that person so we can share them together. When you end a relationship, you're essentially removing all these pieces and you're stuck thinking because all of a sudden you relied on them for this particular thing or you relied on them for that particular thing. Now they're no longer there. And part of getting past a relationship is kind of realizing this and kind of realizing that you're going to have to be a bit more independent and start getting those feelings from yourself. How you get past this is actually quite simple, and it's often the simplest things that are hardest to master and hardest to realize. They're always under our nose and we forget about it. It's just by realizing that every breakup you go through, every bad experience is actually going to be a genuine learning experience. And it's going to show you that maybe the reason why it wasn't working was because there was a value difference, and maybe in a future relationship what you want is a better, sharing values with that person. Or maybe you want someone who you can feel adventurous with, or maybe you want someone who you can go to parties with. Those little things are actually really important. And when you learn to focus on these things of what you want in the future, it will actually solve a lot of problems, because instead of focusing on death, you'll end up focusing on life. Because the number one reason why people feel so bad afterwards, in addition to the grieving process and losing all of these things and feelings and experiences you had with someone, is that we always focus on the death. This is why so many people after relationships, all of a sudden they don't trust the opposite gender, or they don't trust something, because they're focused on how bad they feel. So if you know what kind of relationship you want in the future, it will really help you. And if you want, I've compiled a list of questions that you can ask yourself as well that will allow you to help define these values that you want in a future relationship. If you want those, you can press the link in the description below. But if you liked this video, make sure to press like and subscribe, and make sure to subscribe for more videos about dating and life and how the two come together. Till next time, Harvey out.